Hello, this is BJ. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Read It Again. Thank you for everyone who has hit that like and subscribe button below. If you haven't done so yet, feel free to do so. Anyways, today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. Not completely different. I've done this before. But this channel is supposed to be a combination of my traveling and the things I've seen and the sites I visited and my reactions to those, as well as the books I've read and some commentary on some of the great classical pieces of literature. Today, I'm not going to be talking about the classical pieces of literature. Where I was planning on going, there were two books I was thinking about talking about. One of those books is The Dark Night of the Soul. The other one is Richard Foster's book on prayer. So I'm going to go ahead and click the links to those below, but I'm not really going to talk about those. Instead, yesterday, I went and I visited Jerusalem, East Jerusalem. Again, it's not my first time, but it's the first time that I just took pictures everywhere I went, pretty much. Some things were closed. I was not able to go to the Temple Mount because we are in Eid al-Adha. That is a Arabic Muslim festival, represents the sacrifice of Abraham when he went up on the mountain and sacrifices, or was willing to sacrifice his son Isaac. He did not sacrifice him, but his willingness to do that is a holiday festival that is being celebrated at this time of year by the Muslim community. So the Temple of Mount and many of the parts of the Muslim quarter in East Jerusalem were closed. Also, because it was a Sunday, a lot of churches were had private services. So there was a lot of churches I would like to go in and visit, but I was not able to do so at this point in time. Garden Tomb, it's only open certain days at certain times, and it's been hard for me to get there. Keep trying, keep forgetting when it's open. Haven't been able to be there yet, but I will get there. I will show that in the future. But today I'm just going to show you where I went, and I'm going to disappear off this screen. You're going to just see the pictures and the videos I went, and I'm just going to give you some commentary as they show up, what I'm seeing, what I was experiencing, and my thoughts on them. So let's roll it. Came into the city as I normally do through the Damascus Gate, which is a gate on the northwest side of the city. Then I immediately made my way through the narrow, busy, crowded streets directly towards the Western Wall. And these next few pictures that you're looking at are pictures of Jewish men praying at the Western Wall. There's actually a dividing area. There's a men's and women's area, and you'll see that a little bit later in a video coming up. But these are men that are praying, and the sounds you're hearing in the background are actually some audio that I recorded while they were praying and while they were worshiping at the Western Wall. Now here's a video of them at that wall. The significance of this wall is that it is a part of the original wall to the Temple Mount before it was taken over by the Arabs, before it became a Muslim place. This was a part of the original wall to the original temple, and so they go to this as the only remaining part of that historical original wall. So in this video, I'm just standing in the center of the area, and you can see I'm just doing a full circle. This in front of us is on the right is the women's section where the women go to pray, and on the left of the flag is the men's section where the men would go to pray. This next area is the historical center, the Western Wall Museum, pretty much. It was closed when I was there, but they did let me go in and look around a little bit. That first picture that you saw was a portion of the original Solomon's Temple. The rest of these are part of an archaeological dig that they've been doing. This is entrance to the women's quarter, and then some market stalls that would have been right outside the temple that you're looking at in this video. Like I said, this was actually closed at the time, but they did let me go in. The Israeli Defense Force was outside. I asked if it's open. They said, go on in. I go in. He said, it's closed, but what do you want to know? So he talked to me a little bit about what was there, and then let me shoot. I couldn't walk around in the museum or go to the top to see the wall from the view they have there. But he let me shoot a little bit and just talk to me for a little bit. That was really nice of him. And then these last two shots that you're seeing are part of what's called the Little Western Wall. This is deep in the Muslim quarter. It's the very northern tip of the wall. that would have been the Temple Mount. So there's that. After leaving the Western Wall, I walked towards the Via Dolorosa, and on the way I stopped and took 2 pictures of this one very beautiful church. This is actually the Armenian Patriarchate. So where the Armenian Church has their leadership in Jerusalem, this is where they are meeting. And then we have the Via Dolorosa, and this is the road that Jesus would have walked with his cross. I actually walked it backwards, starting from the 3rd station and going towards the 1st station, which would be where he was condemned by Pilate. After that, there are pictures of the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus would have prayed prior to his arrest. So after the Last Supper in the upper room, he went to the temple to pray, and then walked from the temple to the Garden of Gethsemane. And these are pictures of the Garden of Gethsemane. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this play and just listen, and no more commentary.
He was bleeding from a beating. There were stripes upon his back, and he wore a crown of thorns upon his head. And he bore with every step the scorn of those who cried out for his death. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way of suffering, like a lamb came the Messiah, Christ the King. But he chose to walk that road out of his love for you and me. Down the Via Dolorosa, all the way to Calvary. Por la Via Dolorosa, triste día en Jerusalén, los soldados le abrían paso a él.